All right, on the line right now with us, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, and one of my opinion, one of the most authentic voices in dancehall music. Baby Cham on the line with us. Cham, what's poppin', brother?
What's good? What's good? Thanks for having me.
Yes, man. You got this whole promo run going on. I know you got a lot of interviews going your way, so we really thank you for taking the time out to come with us, man.
Yo, anytime, King. Anytime. You know, you've been in the a part of the team from day one, so anytime at all.
Appreciate that, man. So right now you're live, Laser 101 here in St.Maarten. Myself, DJ Outkast, G Money, Super Kid on the line. You're on the Friday Frukus.
Yes, sir.
We are talking about the new song you have out with Usain Bolt, Lockdown. Tell us a little bit about the record, man.
Almost 2 years, you know, we under lockdown. No party, we can't go. Police are crack down. Government a say a curfew, them now back down. Any man catch a road, pat down. 100 seat, enough dead. Me no get it. Election keep. All them say a pandemic. Me no trust the numbers. Me feel them a edit. So them can claim say a dance all a spread it. All people have to stay home because them at risk. 6 feet apart, them a say, but brother, watch this. Me no say when none of them a do for try stop this. What them want to do? Stay home and just knock fist. Can't even get for drive out. Me new boom boom. YouTube me up on every day. I listen boom boom. Wow wow.
When I first,
Lockdown is one of them songs, you know, that it's one of them songs that I did to just give people hope. You know what I mean, and to kind of remind the leaders that. And not just the leaders of the Caribbean, the leaders of the world, that we as people of the world elect them and put them in these places and give them these powers for them. When we have situations like these, you're supposed to make the right decision to kind of free us up and allow us to go about our lives again. I'm not saying to just let us loose and let us go just wild.
Right.
I'm saying find some way to orderly allow us to go about our lives again, because you have people out there that haven't worked for almost 2 years. And a lot of people have been evicted. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Some of us work in situations where we have a steady contract. You know what I mean? Where we collect a check every 2 weeks or every month. You have people out there that this really affect, brother. And at the same time, I know that there's people out there that this affect on the other side also, that they have lost loved ones. So we want to make sure that we find some way to just allow us to get back out there and live our lives again, you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's crazy, it's ironic, because when Beanie and Bounty had the verses, they wanted to shut it down, but as soon as elections was keeping, they want everybody to come out to a yard and go and vote. And then
that's what I said. You know what I mean? Election keep. Oh, them say a pandemic. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whenever it's in their favor, whenever it's good for them, then they allow us to go and do whatever we want to do, or whatever they want us to do. But whenever it's good for the people, then they kind of pull the curtain down and tighten the latches and close the doors and the gates, you know what I mean? And they have to remember that we are the ones that put them there. And you have a lot of people suffering, like really suffering. So we're not saying just to let us loose and people just run around and spread the virus, or if you have the virus or whatever it may be. But find some way. Come together as a team, as a put a collective effort to find some ways where we can get back to our lives with some form of protocol, some form of guidelines, where we won't end up back in this situation.
They really want to be that guy.
that guy, right?
That guy.
You were also very critical of your government. You was talking about double standards, like when it comes to parties and stuff like that, and people coming into Jamaica.
Yeah, there's a big double standard. For instance, the government was saying that the music, reggae music and dancehall music is one of the main influence of the rise of crime in Jamaica. And I was saying that is totally wrong. You know what I mean? The rise of crime, you have to put the main causes: 1, poverty; 2, parenting; 3, lack of opportunity. You have to call those 3 before you call any movie. If you're going to say a movie script or the way or a certain actor influence people to go and do wrong things, or music, you have to call those 3 first. The only way you have scamming and all these things is because there's a lack of opportunity out there. When people find a way to feed their family, there's no way you can come to them and tell them that, no, you can't, that way is wrong, you should choose this way, when they're suffering, you know what I mean? You have to provide a way. You have kids out there right now leaving universities with all these big bills over their heads. University bills over their heads, and they can't get a job, and majority of them have MBAs, all of these things, you know what I mean? So until the governments of the world stop deflecting on what is causing crime and start really looking into it, we're going to be here 100 years from now.
Yeah, and just like you said, it's crazy. The politicians are blaming the rise in crime and the death rate and everything on the music. But again, when it came to their benefit, when it was election time, who were the first people they went to make the jingles? The same.
Sir,
the same.
We say it. That's why they could never get my vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them contacted me to do dubs for them.
Right.
And we still, in Jamaica, we still don't have like a structure around reggae and dancehall music. You can just come and shut off the party whenever you want to shut off the party. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When it's a major industry just the same. We pay major taxes just the same. We attract the most tourists in the Caribbean just the same. You know what I mean? So if you really think about it, until they do what they're supposed to do and support and really treat our genre and our music how they're supposed to treat it, we should never ever do dubs for them for no amount of money.
Definitely.
You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Definitely, brother, man.
Fully 100% agree with you on that, Sham. Honest to God.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, G.
All you, G. I got you.
Okay, so tell me how you hooked up with Usain Bolt on the rhythm and how this whole lockdown came on the clockwork rhythm. Tell me.
How you catch him? Fastest man in the
world. Well, Usain been dabbling into the music space for a minute now, and it's a passion of his, you know what I mean? And we kind of hooked up, and I got the beat. And as soon as I got the beat, I knew you kind of know when you get an authentic dancehall beat. We haven't gotten an authentic dancehall beat in a minute in our space.
Agreed.
You have different fusions, and we accept any fusion, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, when we did songs like Tables Turn with Foxy Brown or This Is Why I'm At, that was a fusion, and it was new at the time. And we wanted people to accept it just the same. So we are not going to knock anyone at all if they are fusing the music. But when you hear an authentic dancehall beat, it make DJ ever hear Shabarang say, DJ is cock up when them hear boom rhythm. Booyaka, booyaka, for Shabaranking, it's real. So the authentic dancehall beat kind of cock up my ears. And I sat with Hussein and told him that I wanted to give him a champion. You know what I mean? Not just any song. And if you know me over the years, I never just release any song. I kind of go with quality over quantity. I've never released 4 songs for one single calendar year before. And myself and Dave Kelly sat and told Hussein that we weren't going to make the release date that he was kind of shooting for his project, because I wanted to give him something good. We took an extra week and a half, and lockdown came out to be perfect, you know what I mean? So big up to Hussein and the whole A team, NJ and the family, because they are really putting in a lot of work behind it. And big up to the whole Madhouse team also. We are putting a lot of work behind it. So lockdown, we're not back down. Can you hear me?
That's always been something. Myself, Super Kid, we've spoke about this many times over the years, because we've been, diehard fans of dancehall reggae music over the years. That's always something we admired with you. You have never been an artist to just cut on every rhythm that ever came out. You select your rhythms, and every rhythm you touch, it become a big song.
Yes, sir. And I can't tell you that I deserve the credit for that alone. you have a genius by the name of Dave Kelly, who I met when I was 15 years old. Producer of Buju Banton, Terry Fabulous, Nadine Sutherland, Terry, you name them. You named it, the Garnet Silks. You name them, you know what I mean? And is ever since we met up with Dave, his philosophy is quality over quantity. So for instance, Dave Kelly have this record with, it's called The 3 Bs, Bounty Killer, Beenie Man, and Baby Cham, that no one has ever heard. No one at all. And we were killing him to release the record, and he was saying that no, it's not up to the standard that it's supposed to be. And we have to accept that and realize that that's someone who is not just in it for a dollar. You know what I mean? That's someone who is really passionate about what they do and want to perfect the craft. If there's no such thing as perfecting, you know what I mean? But at least you try and try and push the envelope to try and better your last single or your last album. And that's been the philosophy from day one. So it's not just me. Sometimes artists have so much they want to say. And a lot of time we knock head over the first 3 years of knowing each other. But then when you kind of realize that, okay, everything that I release becomes an instant classic, then I'm not a madman. I have to buy into the philosophy. You know what I mean?
And with the way that dancehall music has changed over the years, because you're one of those voices that still were big from the 90s and still relevant to this day. For the way that dancehall has evolved over the years, I'm not hating on it. I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but I'm not hating on it. How have you, come to terms with how dancehall has evolved over the years?
I'd have to say it's one of them things that you kind of see it from afar and kind of accept what they're doing, because a lot of them are kids, you know what I mean?
True.
And I remember when I was just coming up as an artist, we used to try and push the envelope, and always pushing the envelope with songs like Hands Off My Property, This Is Not Monopoly. And a lot of artists in Jamaica used to say I was sounding like I'm rapping, but those songs became classics.
Right.
The difference with me and with the newer artists today, I have probably the best dancehall, not even probably, the best dancehall producer in the history of the music to guide me. And that way he could find beats and fuse different beats to kind of still that had the same, the real essence of dancehall and reggae. If you take all the songs off Bug Rhythm, Look Into My Eye, Tell Me What You See, take all the songs, just take the vocals off it and listen to the beat. It's, you just listen to the bass line. It's not really a dancehall bass line.
No,
you know what I mean? But then the other elements now that they've put in the beat give you that dancehall and reggae energy. So I think we have to give them time, and hopefully the producers that the younger artists are working with, they can keep studying and keep kind of trying to tap into their forefathers. You know, their forefathers' legacy and try to uphold it, because at the same time this is an industry and this is a genre that's not normal. You don't want to treat it like it's a normal vehicle. It's no normal vehicle. It's coming from the bloodline of Bob Marley and the greats, you know what I mean? Peter Tosh, you name them, you Rai. So when you're in this space, you kind of want to do your homework, and that's what I would tell them. That's most important. Do their homework, and then they will know the sounds and the different tweaks that they need to tweak to have it to feel the way it's supposed to feel, for the whole Caribbean to embrace that music, you know what I mean? And the world to embrace it, how they embrace the authentic reggae and dancehall music.
Now, how do you feel that a majority of the big producers and the legendary producers are now going towards the mainstream market? You know, they're not only working with the Jamaican artists, but it looks kind of more like they're just focusing now on the outside world. You know, you got the mainstream ones like Russian. You have him. You have
Stephen the Genius.
Some other big producers as well. So they're not really staying with the core Jamaican artists, but now they're moving towards the mainstream.
Well, they say when the bird have kids, you allow them to fence around the nest, fence around the tree, and then you allow them to fly, you know what I mean? And then newer birds come along, new babies come along. So I think in that terminology now, you find that when a producer gets really gets his name out there, a lot of people are going to be seeking for them to work with them, and at the same time, they do music, and then you have music business, and at the end of the day, everyone wants to prepare and set a future for them and their family, you know what I mean? So when a Steve the Genius or a Russian is not on the scene, it's an opportunity now for a younger producer to come and stamp his class and make his name, because Steven or Russian made their name and moved on to the next space to kind of push the music out there on the next level, because no matter what they're doing, they have to be representing the Caribbean. They have to be representing reggae and dancehall music. So it's not a case like we're saying, okay, they're selling out, they're gone. No, it's opportunity. Just like how when we were coming up, Shabba Ranks was signed to Epic, and Buju was signed to I think it's Canon, one of those record labels, and they were always on tour. And that's how a Baby Cham get to come to the forefront, because they're not in the space anymore. So we have more time and more space to do what we want to do. And then came my international success, and we have to be out on the road just the same for like a year straight. And you had younger artists like the Vibes Cartels, the Mavados, they would come along. And I don't look at it like, okay, I went out there and I'm gone from the business. It's just that you have different spaces. Someone has to go out there, go and promote the record, and keep the door open so that other brothers and sisters can run through that door. You know what I mean?
True. Facts.
True. Yeah, Buju was on Mercury Records. I think that's what
Mercury.
Right. He was on Mercury. Suppa Kid was mentioning, all the different producers doing different artists, but you yourself did songs with Alicia Keys, Foxy Brown, Carl Thomas, Rihanna, Akon, T-Pain, and others, Kiki Palmer. Anybody today you would like to do some music with?
Yo, for sure. I'd love to do something with Eminem, for sure. That's one of the lyricists that I've always looked up to lyrically, you know what I mean? Word play wise, how he plays with the words, and for sure, Eminem for sure. But apart from that, anyone that's feeling music, as long as you're feeling music, we're feeling music. Music has no boundaries, music has no borders. We're down for anything, whether it's a soca collaboration, a calypso collaboration, a reggaeton. Anyone that's seeing music and lyrics, how we feel and see music, you know what I mean? It's just one love.
Okay. Now I might get a little touchy subject here. What about the artist O? Is everything still good over there? Are we still gonna hear some music from her? How's that relationship?
The thing with O is that O doesn't love it like that. It's like, it's for instance, she had the biggest records, but she wouldn't want to tour. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I wanted to know if it's still turn up. Because she said it was turn up. So we still want to know.
But remember she said turn up, so she will always be turn up.
Okay, just checking. Just want to make sure it's still turn up.
Yeah, but remember she said, man, it's not an issue called it turn up. Turn up. Right. She will always be turn up.
Okay, good.
And that's my baby, if not maybe at all times. But you have to understand that some people, they just want to do their thing, and she don't love it like that. So if she feel the vibe, she'll do a hook or because she have that classic sound.
Right.
But that's just it. And at the end of the day, you can't want it more for them. You know what I mean? They have to want it more.
True. Okay. Now we saw the versus battle between Beenie Man and Bounty. Now, if you had to put
Murder
Cham in a category in the versus, who do you think you could stand toe to toe with?
Oh, no, who could stand toe-to-toe with Cham?
Good one.
Yeah. You have so many good lyricists out there that have, but in the verses body, it's not like it's a lyricist situation where one is going up against the other. In my city, we have only... I've got so much classics in dancehall space and classics, and majority of my songs that I've done with international artists have been Billboard songs, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit, they would have to choose wisely who they put with a Cham there, per se, because the versus space is different from just a dancehall clash. Where we're going to go mano a mano, lyrics for lyrics. It's really the songs that are going to play out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so they would have to choose wise, because at the end of the day, you could have, for instance, a major artist from our genre that sold probably 20 million up to today's date, and they check Cham thing and he probably gone 3.4 million or 5 million. But at the end of the day, in the night, my songs are going to be bigger in that space right there and then, because of the classics that we have done on some classic dancehall beats, which you can't blame me. I was just around the right team at the right time. Everything was right, and we got major classics. And you name the biggest beats from dancehall: Joyride, Showtime, Brockout, Bug, Man and Man, Babylon Boy, Vitamin S, Get a Story. So it's really hard. A lot of people kind of don't realize the amount of classics I have until you're at the live concert. They're like, what? You know what I mean? Because I think over the years I've been more reserved. You know what I mean? Never in the controversy space. You know what I mean? Probably 1 or 2 songs for the year, but then the work speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
they're gonna know.
They would have to be.
They're gonna know today, because I'm doing a Baby Cham mix after we finish the interview, and I'm gonna be dropping off all your hits today. So if they didn't know before, they're gonna know today.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since you came back, since you've been in St.Maarten. I remember the last time you were here, it was for Black on Black.
By Bliss, right?
By Bliss.
I remember that.
And it was a crazy
And then he also came for the Heineken Light launch.
Yes, snap! I remember that.
Yeah.
Me and Outkast DJ,
I was on the harbor.
Yeah, I was on the harbor.
Yeah.
They brought the big container.
You know what? We need to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. We're going to team up and make it happen. That's how the teamwork made the dream work.
There you go. Wow.
But right now, everybody needs to go to YouTube, check out the video. It's out right now, the video for Lockdown. Go and check it out. Cham, we want to thank you so much for taking the time out, because I know you got a busy press schedule ahead of you.
Real fast, Outkast, who directed the video and who came up with the storyline for the video?
Oh, the storyline was really an idea from Usain's manager, NJ. That was his idea, and between him and Dave Kelly kind of ironed out the treatment. And the director is Garrett from TD Cinema in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very well done.
All right.
But Cham, if they want to reach out to you on social media, what's the social media handles? How they can reach you, man?
At the Cham, THECHAM. From you type in Cham or Baby Cham, it will pop up.
All right.
The video is out, lockdown. Make sure y'all go and watch the video. Go and stream it, Spotify, everywhere it's out. Can you hear me? St.Maarten, we're keeping it lawless. Bang it.
Bless up, Cham. Thank you so much for joining us, my brother. God bless me, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks again, kid.
Bless, man.
Respect.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sirree. Man, I ain't see Cham. So which was the last performance he had?
The last one was Black on Black.
Black on Black.
It was on
by
Black
Bliss.
on Black.
It was on Bliss. That was the last time he was here.
On Bliss.
Yes, sir.
At Bliss. This was at Bliss when, Bliss was still around.
Yeah.
Bliss was still around. He came with O that time, right?
Yes, he did.
He came with O.
They still married?
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, let me check because I wasn't sure myself.
I wasn't sure myself either.
I wasn't sure myself, but he said it still turn up, so she did.
He's still turning it up.
Yeah, he's still turning it up.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
There you go. But the video's out right now, Lockdown. Y'all go check it out. I played it a couple of times on the Power Hour. I love the rhythm.
The song is a hot rhythm. As soon as it came out, the rhythm, as soon as you saying released the rhythm a couple of weeks ago, I said, and I was, I had some names on there. And that's the first song I gravitated to was the Cham song. He killed it. I was like, oh, this is fire. I was like, oh, this is fire. Tropics, here we come.
Here we come.
Here we come, Tropics 105.5. But I've heard a lot of COVID songs.
Yeah.
Whether it's soca, whether it's dancehall, whether it's hip hop. So far for me, this is the best COVID
song.
Lockdown song I've heard so far. So.
He went off. He went off on it.
Yeah, he killed it.
He went off on it.
He killed it.